Welcome to the Cuse Militia Podcast with those two unapologetically biased, orange-blooded homers, Sean and Joe.
What's up, Cuse Nation? Thanks for tuning into the Cuse Militia Podcast with Sean and Joe. If you like it, please share it. The universal handle for the socials is @Cuse Militia. Go there, join the militia. We are the first Syracuse sports podcast centered around giving you, the fans, a voice. So welcome. Happy, whatever the hell today is, Wednesday.
October 23rd.
Wednesday, October 23rd. And we bring you the FSU preview. And
I thought this is the NBA.
No,
Open.
What is the NBA? What are you talking about?
The NBA started yesterday.
Whatever that is, I'm happy
It's
for
the
it.
National Basketball Association.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds boring. So, Joe, we've got some. we've got a little bit of Cuse basketball news. We are just about 2 weeks away, right?
Yeah. Yes.
That's today, right? 2 weeks.
No, there's actually an exhibition game on, I think, during the football game.
Well. What do you know? How exciting is that? You have to have two TVs going at the same time.
Well, some people aren't that lucky, but I do believe that you'll be able to rewatch it on ESPN or ESPN Plus, possibly. So it's just an exhibition game against.
Whatever. But,
it's fun to watch.
For those of us who were hyped about the Italy thing and didn't really get to do the Italy thing or watch the Italy thing, it's exciting.
Yeah, I get it, but I just don't think it. I don't think it supersedes a regular season football game. That's just my opinion. But
absolutely. Oh, I totally agree. That's what I'm saying. You do two TVs at the same time. Now you can always do a TV and a computer at the same time. All right. John Wallace is number 44. That's going to get retired when? February 29th in the Carrier Dome when they play North Carolina. He'll become the 15th player to have his jersey retired. And the second number 44 to none other than the other one. You know who it is, Joe. It's Derek Coleman.
Oh, yeah.
His was retired in 06. 16.7 points a game, 8.4 rebounds per game, and third all-time in career points. And it took some 22 years, which seems like a long time, but, he earned it, right? I mean,
it's half his number.
Exactly. So it's better than 23 years. So congratulations to him. And this should be exciting. Maybe, who knows?
He was awesome.
Oh, yeah. He was so much fun, man.
That run to the championship in 96.
Yeah, that was the oh my God. Remember, Cuse is in the house. Yeah. Oh my God. That was him. That's what got it going. So, just brilliant, which was spray painted all over the ESM sidewalks, by the way, when I was in high school. So that was, what was that? 90, was it 96?
6.
Yeah. I was in 11th grade.
Way to age reveal there, buddy.
So anyway, that's crazy though, because I remember that. It was awesome. And some more basketball news for you. Raise your hand. Well, I can't see anybody raise their hand. So say aye if you're real upset about Syracuse, their young team not making the preseason AP top 25. Say aye. There we go. Yeah. The news came out. We're going to tell you about it. Obviously, I don't think any of us probably would have expected that anyway, but
no.
It comes out, so we got to talk about it. If FSU's on it or off it, then whatever. But whatever.
Long season.
Right. So the stadium, Jeff Goodman from the stadium, he released his 2020 NBA mock draft, and he's got Quincy Guerrero on there, going as a one and done, 28th pick overall in the first round to Brooklyn. That's what he's got it as. That's what's projected. So
way too early.
Way. Obviously, way. I'm reading this and I'm like, this is a thing right now? Like, we haven't even really... They mostly talked about his size and his athleticism, obviously. He's got an NBA frame already. But I'm like, man, I mean, if he's that good, then more power to him. But
well, yeah, and that's one of those positive and negative type things, because you hear that and you're like, oh man, we might have a one and done on our team, but then it's like, oh, great.
Oh, man, we got a one and done.
Right.
Yeah.
So, again, like I said, as long as...
We thought Brissett was going to be a one and done, too, at one point, if I remember right.
And the reason why I don't like this stuff is because I don't like it getting to the kids, because then,
Then they're showing off, man.
Right.
They're showing off.
Right.
So, I mean,
But, like I said, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But, I mean, to just get, to just have the recognition, just in general, is...
Oh, it's definitely awesome.
The hype is the hype, and you roll with the hype, which is
right.
Kind of it's part of it. That's what we do. So Anyway, we are going to get into FSU, but first, as always, I got to tell you about the good folks over at MyBookie. Cue the music. It comes in. There it goes. Now I can talk about MyBookie. Okay. Now, regardless of whether you've been betting online for years, which you know what you're getting into, or if you're a first-time bettor, which you should probably research and see if it's right for you, MyBookie is the best bet of the season if you're the kind of guy or gal who likes to bet a little and win a lot. Try the parlay, for instance. If you like a couple of the big games or favorites of the week, parlays are perfect because they let you bet on multiple games together for a much bigger payout. So if you're going to bet this season, do the smart thing and go to mybookie.ag, because no one gives you more ways to win than MyBookie. Whether it be the NFL, you got college football, you got MLB playoffs, you got the World Series going on.
World Series, yeah.
And you got hockey and whatever the NBA is, that's going on. So now is the time to get off the sidelines. If you really want to support your team this season, don't just sit on the sidelines. Get in on the game with mybookie.ag. And if you do it right now, MyBookie will double your first deposit. Just use the promo code CHAIR. That's CHAIR to activate that offer. That's promo code CHAIR. Double your first deposit up to $1,000. Visit mybookie.ag today. You play, you win, you get paid. Thank you, MyBookie. And there's a sponsor around the corner. We have a new sponsor set up around the corner. And we'll get to tell you about them next week. Yeah. All right, so...
Your disdain for the NBA disgusts me.
Really? Really?
Proceed.
It's funny. I just had this conversation with my brother last night. All right. Syracuse is the lone ACC team without a conference win. Womp womp. That's a sad stat, bro. They head south to take on Florida State this Saturday. Kickoff is at 3:30 in the afternoon, obviously, not in the morning. Come on, guys. The all-time series sits at 10-2 in favor of the Seminoles. Syracuse's 2 wins came in the very first meeting in 1966. In the most recent, obviously, we all remember that one, last year in the Dome. Both wins, in fact, came in the Dome. And, of course, as you well know, Syracuse is on the road for this one. Florida State sits at 3-4, just like Syracuse, but they are 2-3 in the ACC. So now, as a sports fan, I always welcome distractions from the opposing team. And the rumor mill is swirling about Coach Taggart. According to website Football Scoop, FSU has... engaged donors about potentially firing Taggart. And word is Urban Meyer might be the top candidate for this job. This is all according to Syracuse.com. Rumors, but still fun to talk about. Still a distraction for them. And the 247 Sports indicated FSU has had buyout discussions with Taggart's agent. So this is going to be the battle of the bad offensive lines. FSU is tied for 119th in the country and allows 3.2 sacks a game, 3.3, call it 3.29. And Syracuse allows 5 per game. That takes sole position of last place. So,
or first place. Depends on which way you want to look at it.
Yeah, is the glass half empty or half full, Joe? That's the question, right? So now, the biggest threat, Joe, Cam Akers.
Yeah,
he's running behind a pretty inefficient offensive line, and he's not doing too bad. 5 yards a carry, and he's a guy who can break away from some half-ass tackles. Not that we've had a ton of half-ass tackles this year, but we have got run over a little bit. Yeah, they're there. And he's one that can just take that and gouge it, man. Gouge it. So, Blackman is back. James Blackman is back as a quarterback. At least we think he's presumed to be. He started the first 4 games before being out with sprained MCL, and he's 64.2% completion rate for 1,316 yards, 11 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. But I guess there's a chance, a little bit here and there. I'm reading or seeing that they might mix it up with the Wisconsin transfer, Hornbrook, Alex Hornbrook, and they might sprinkle him in. Hornibrook, whatever, Hornibrook. They might sprinkle him in. There's a possible tandem action going on there. So
well, I'll tell you, that's one of the things I went back and looked at. And when you looked at James Blackman and Florida State, especially in the beginning of the year, they play a game against Boise State in which they blow a fourth quarter lead. And Boise State's a pretty solid team. And they came out fired up, first game, trying to change what last year looked like for themselves. But they lose that game, close game, nothing to hang their heads down on or anything. But week 2, they go and they play Louisiana Monroe at home, and they takes overtime to beat them.
Right.
And again, James Blackman, week 3, they go on the road against Virginia, lose by 7. Obviously, Virginia's a good team too. So. But when you started to see Alex Hornibrook is when you started to see a little bit of a change as far as my opinion goes. Granted, it might be only 2 games, but he comes in and they end up beating Louisville 35-24. Then the next week,
NC State.
Then the next week they go and they beat NC State 31-13, and we know their defense is pretty solid. So, and then Florida State Clemson obviously is Clemson, so it's hard to gauge. Both quarterbacks played. But to look at last week, it was shocking to me that James Blackman was the only quarterback that had played. So, I mean, in my opinion, maybe that's one of those things, one of those decisions that maybe the boosters or the fan base over in Florida State is calling for Taggart, but it just hasn't been what they thought it was going to be. And obviously, Florida State, you have high expectations, and these aren't going to cut it. And again, too, also with Florida State, they have a lot of they have better recruiting classes that we do, and with this Taggart group, we've kind of seen them kind of quit a little bit in the past, and that's another thing that people are worried about. And at this point, that's something that you got to worry about. So
blood in the water. There's blood in the water.
There is blood in the water, but you can't take away the fact that it is a solid, good team, and they do have, they've had better recruiting classes, and they definitely have the size and athleticism and strength to beat us. But I think coaching lacks a little bit, and I think that's just been proven, and that's why you hear the rumor mills that you hear. But at the end of the day, they still got a team that can beat us without a doubt.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
They do have, like you said, they do have the 2 ACC wins, and they beat a team that beat us.
They handled them too pretty good, and we know how their defense is. So one thing though about Florida State is that I don't think their defensive front hasn't had a or any of the linemen haven't had a sack in over a month.
Really?
So yeah. So, and also their defense
I know they got some
isn't
big boys. So
they're big. They're big, but their defense.
They can stop the run.
Yeah, they can, but their defense is just okay. So that's one good thing. The other thing is with the whole Taggart situation. Isn't he in the middle of his second year? I mean, isn't it?
I don't know if it's his second or his third, but
I thought it was middle of his second year. I don't know. Well, it seems premature, but they're an organization, and kind of like the history with that is, they haven't had to wait around for progress in quite some time. So
right. Well, I think some of it is, again, like I said, the coaching decisions, but also, I think it comes down to, like last year, it seemed like that team quit, and when you, as a fan base or university booster, whoever, when you see that, that's when you kind of know, I don't want to say the writing's on the wall, but you got strikes 1 and 2, and you're not far away, so that's the one thing that with our team that, you see these calling for Babers and trying to, you can't, our team isn't quitting. So that's one good thing to look at. When players quit, that just means they've lost all faith in the coach and what they're doing.
They're fighting for sure at the end of these games. Even against Clemson, when they had just no shot at all, they were still fighting. So, not for anything. It's promising. It's not like some things we've seen in the past. So, put it that way.
Oh, yeah. Right. We've definitely had teams lay down when they start getting taken over. So it's put us in a position to win almost every week. And like you said, Florida State, they don't have a great offensive line. So, again, I expect them to probably give us a heavy dose of Cam Akers. And that's really the key in this game to me.
Yeah.
Is how we handle this running game.
Yeah. I mean, they
have Tamari and Terry out on the outside. He's an NFL receiver, 6'4", about 205. He's got pretty good stats, and he's a guy. He's a home run hitter, and he's going to be another guy. Obviously, we have to worry about off of play action. But again, I mean, you wonder if they're playing James Blackman because of the offensive line and because he can run. So that's one of the things. Maybe they're in a situation that we're in where maybe Hornibrook's the better guy, but because they got someone that can run a little bit like Blackman, that's why he's playing. So, again, that's another little thing that we do have to worry about. But that would be my main concern. My main concern is just stopping the run. That's it.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because if we don't score, then it could be a problem.
Yeah, and if they don't give up on the run either, even if it's not working, if they don't give up and they just wear us down. I mean, we've seen how that's taken a toll on us against Pitt, for one.
Well, yeah.
So, all right. Well, anything else as far as Florida State goes? I mean, here's the thing, Joe. When we came into the preview for Pitt last week, I wasn't super confident about that game, and it wasn't terrible. I mean, I always come into every game before kickoff, especially doing the show, thinking, well, we can win. Because I mean, why would you think otherwise, I guess? I don't know.
I mean, the opponents on our schedule are, like, again, they're winnable games. So, of course, you want to go in thinking that we can win 100%.
Right. And like you said, we haven't seen them give up. We haven't seen them lay down, basically. So, I like to think that we can go in and win this game. The one thing that makes me nervous, second to Cam Akers, is the atmosphere. And
but we don't even know what that atmosphere is going to look. That atmosphere has looked weaker and weaker with this regime. So
it has. But
their attendance has gone down. The excitement about the team has gone down, while the expectations still stay up. Which I mean, right now, you think that what Syracuse fans are complaining about. I mean, it's got to be way worse down there.
Well, their last home game was against NC State, and it was happening. I mean, it was. Yeah. It was happening there. So I guess we will see.
Well, after two
losses in a row coming back home, we'll get to see. But it's just that, I mean, they pack that place most of the time. But you're right. You're right. We don't know.
And you don't really know what to think because, again, there's probably some people that think Clemson and Wake Forest are the best two teams in the ACC. So to go on the road and lose to the two best teams in the ACC really isn't a crazy thing.
Yeah, almost predicted already.
State, who we've beaten, right? So yeah, but again, like I said, this is one of those games that I thought was toss up all the way. Even if we come out and it's on offense and as ugly as we have, with our defense, as long as we can kind of contain Akers and not give up any huge plays, then we will be, I think, in a position to win the game in the fourth quarter like we have the last two.
Yeah, and that's all we can ask for, especially on the road, and especially after, being...
Well, at this point, I mean, you've seen what it is, and I'm kind of excited to see what kind of changes he's going to make.
That's the thing. It's the unknown. It's exciting to see exactly what are the changes, what's it going to look like. We still don't know.
My expectations are low.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. They should be.
I'm going to my stocking expecting coal. Yeah. And let's see what happens. But at least we're making changes so that some of these people that think, oh, well, you got to do this, you got to do that. I mean, if anything, it's gonna prove either that, like he said, he didn't want to break up the continuity of the offensive line, because that's what Babers talked about with this press conference. There's certain positions that you have to groups, especially that, they have the continuity and the communication, and offensive line is probably number one top of that list as far as groups. So you want to try to work as a coach to keep the continuity and the same guys in there, because traditionally, historically, they're going to get better as time goes. Now, like we talked about, it hasn't grown fast enough for Babers, and it hasn't grown fast enough for the season. So you got to be willing to change some people up, even if that means burning some red shirts or sitting some seniors. And it sounds like now he's willing to do it. Now let's just see. It's either going to,
It's a waiting game, like basically.
Right. Maybe it'll be better, and maybe it'll prove that basically they were playing the right guys, and it just is what it is this year.
Yeah,
but
we'll just have to see.
That's the one thing I'm excited about.
Right, and I like to think that the guys watching from the sidelines are hungry, and if they give it all and it's the same look, then it is what it is, right? So anyway, so Syracuse opened at a 10.5 point underdog going into this game. I believe that was yesterday, maybe. I don't know, whatever. Anyways, I put a poll out, and I couldn't find it on my bookie. I'm very disappointed in this. Very disappointed.
That's really, really weird.
A little weird, unless I just missed something, but that would mean that Joe missed something as well. So, anyway.
Oh, I didn't. It's not there.
Okay. All right. So, it's at what, 10 points now, Joe?
Yeah, I think that's the last I saw,
The poll was 10.5, and on Twitter, 277 of you voted, and 57% picked Cuse with the points. So...
That's it?
That's it? Yeah, I know, because that's a lot of points. But I saw some predictions that were like, blowouts. So we'll just see.
Well, I guess it would be different. Like that's almost the number I would expect from fans if you asked who's going to win the game without the points.
Yeah, but I put it on there. I put the points on there.
That's what I'm saying. I expect that to be a little bit higher than 50.
I expect it to be higher too.
It's not a lot of faith, man.
It's not a lot of faith, but I'll take a majority. Put it that way.
Well, obviously, majority, of course. But
if not now, when 84, he said, I am gonna go with Cuse. Well, I hope so. I hope they come out with some fire in their belly. Absolutely. At Oil Cuse says, Cuse gonna surprise everybody with a win. I did my best there.
No, hope so.
At Orange Faithful, I'm sure I'm crazy, but I will take Cuse in the points. Gotta believe. I don't think that's crazy. That's the thing.
No, I don't think with the points. I don't think it is. No.
I don't think with the points it is. Now we can go in there and get absolutely blown out and look silly right now or later on. But, it is what it is. At Cuse Waterboy says, Cuse ML LFG. You know what LFG is, Joe, right? You're cool. You know what that is.
Nope.
Let's see. Was there anything on Facebook? I haven't even checked. Pardon me. My social media game has been bad lately, guys. I'm so sorry. My meme game is down. Everything. I know. It's been bad. I don't know. I'm in a funk. I'm not inspired. There's only 46 votes on Facebook for crying out loud. 72% though took Syracuse. And
there we go.
There's comments. Let's see. James, yeah, this is better, right? Well, let's see. Here's the thing, and we can break it down as easy as this. There's less cynicism on Facebook, believe it or not, than there is on Twitter. And it's because most of these people
don't
use
have fake profiles.
Right. Most people use their real names.
You can hide in Twitter.
Yeah. With the way things have been, FSU plays their best game of the year. Wow. Boy, oh boy.
FSU or...
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yep. With the way things have been, FSU plays their best game of the year. James.
I can see it being best or worst.
That's a good point, Joe. I could see the same thing. And that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
So,
it's like we're either going to be really happy or really disappointed.
Yeah. I don't see it being a huge blowout. I just don't. The only team that's really blown it, Maryland.
The problem is they have the athletes to do it. That's the issue. Sure.
But we got a good defense. I
trust the coaching enough to get them prepared to not get blown out. Watching tape, stuff like that. You know, I just.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Brandon says probably SU here. Thanks, Brandon, for your confidence. Steve says,
there you go, bud.
Did they suddenly find some O lineman? A QB change may keep it close. D can hold up, but need points to win. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I don't know about the QB change, to be honest with you, but
you never know. At some point, maybe our luck can change a little bit. And I'm not even saying as far as, again, I don't think, I'm not going to lie. The offense has looked pretty ugly at times, maybe most of the times for if you ask most fans, but I don't know how much better it's going to get, even if it does, I just don't. I think people are going to be kind of cynical against this offense pretty much all year. I think the only chance we have to kind of turn this boat around is to start getting those little things back that we talked about. Not doing the penalties as much. Maybe getting a couple more turnovers than just one, and who knows, maybe putting some points up on the board on that stuff. Maybe not missing some field goals, those kind of things. I mean, Schmidt's already missed more field goals this year than he missed last year. So
I know.
just those little things, it'd be nice to just have those kind of things go on in the momentum. And, even if the offense is ugly and it's an ugly game, get a touchdown, nail your field goals, maximize the points with your opportunities.
Yeah, if we do that against Pitt, we could have won that game.
Right. And I think those are the kind of the little things that we got to concentrate on to try to win these games, because
those are the things that went right last year, right?
Yeah, and we have certain deficiencies in certain areas we didn't have last year, so we got to make that up.
Right.
And just doing those little things can make up a lot of those deficiencies. What of the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, absolutely. They're close enough. Jake's last comment here, and then we'll get Joe's thoughts, because he's such a pro at this. He's done so good this year.
I'm so great.
Jake says, is 10.5 the amount of sacks FSU will get? No, Jake, they can't get 10.5 as a team. They can get 10, though. So maybe, but I doubt it. I doubt it. 8, 9, the last 3 games, they're not getting 10. They might get 4.
I would be surprised if we gave up as many sacks as we did in either of the last 2 games.
No way. It's not going to happen. I'd say 4.
Yeah, well.
I mean, that's pretty.
Good
I think that's.
I'm not going to guess how many sacks we give up.
Come on. You're going to leave me out to dry like that?
Yep.
Thanks.
You threw yourself out there, bro.
I know. All right. Whatever. Moving on.
Okay,
right,
I'll pick 4.5.
All right, Joe. 10. What'd you say? What'd you pick? You can't pick 4.5. 10 points to Syracuse, Joe. Currently, you're betting. We know, but explain why.
Yeah.
We know, but explain why.
I just think I'm going off of basically the last 2 games, and where I think majority of the ACC is just mediocreville, and that's just
not
what
Fansville,
it is.
Mediocreville.
Huh? I mean, that's most of the ACC.
Yeah,
and this is just another one of those games. And again, like you said, Cam Akers breaks some long ones, or Tamarian Terry catches a couple long ones, or the atmosphere is crazy. Okay, I can see it possibly getting like a Maryland type situation, because we have seen it this year. But the defense that I've seen since then isn't going to allow a team, I don't think, to beat them like Maryland for the rest of the year, especially with the teams that are on our schedule. And on top of that, like you said, I don't think that noise that's going on with all the rumors and the coaching and the boosters and the fans and all that stuff, I don't think that's just, they're going to be able to just cover that up and play a perfect game.
No, it's always.
I just don't.
No, it's a tough thing to do, and that's why it sucks when it comes out right before a game.
Yeah, and you emphasize the fact of, obviously you have Terry, who's definitely a monster as far as a receiver, and they do have athletes, but you're going to have to emphasize stopping the run and making those quarterbacks beat you with throw.
Yeah.
And obviously obviously I'm not going to say their offensive line is as bad as ours, but it's not great. So, and we have a good defensive line, so that could be the,
We're like 130, they're 119. It's pretty bad. They're both pretty bad.
They're both pretty bad.
They're both pretty bad. Ours is the worst.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be like,
and a lot of that's based on how many sacks are given up and stuff too.
Yeah.
By the way, so.
I think as long as coaching prepares them to stop what they need to stop on defense, and it's going to be a battle of coaching and the little things, me personally, because I just don't think that either team is far and away better than the other. And that's goes for a lot of the teams in the ACC. So
how about Orange is the New? Slow it down a little bit. Does that help?
Could. I mean, at this point, I don't think speeding it up's helping anybody.
I don't think so either.
I mean, I'm just saying, at some point, if it's not helping, then you got to change it. So
yeah. So
you never know.
I mean, I think it's about time to to probably maybe practice Orange is the New Fast and a little bit here and there, but implement it when it's needed.
I think you got hit them when it's timely.
Yeah, exactly.
If you slow it down and you actually get them on a play where you see some mismatches or they might not have the right personnel out there, and then right after that play you can hit them up with a hurry up and not allow them to sub out, and you can kind of take advantage of that mismatch. Sure.
Control the game a little bit, man. Control the game a little bit. And wear that defense out, man.
Right. I mean, the point of that offense is to go fast, put the points on the board, put the pressure on that defense, and eventually wear them out.
Right.
But if you're going 3 and out or you're not scoring points, then you're just screwed. You're screwing your defense.
Yep. So, anyway, probably see some of that. So.
I mean, I would like to see a little bit of it.
I mean, like you said, Joe, it's timely. It's got to be timely. And
at this point, it does, because all the time is ineffective.
Exactly. You're just shooting yourself in the foot. So, all right, well, that's it. And we appreciate everybody.
Pumped, man. Can't wait.
I'm really excited. I wish this was a primetime game, by the way. If you want a primetime game, look, do not take this the wrong way. Primetime games outside of the dome, I love, man. I like watching my team under the lights, really under the lights.
Under the lights at a good
outdoors
atmosphere. Yeah.
Yes. Something hostile. That pumps me up, man. That pumps me up. I love seeing my team respond to a hostile environment, man. There's nothing like shutting up a crowd, dude.
If they respond.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, if in a perfect world, they're just shutting up the opponent's fans. Absolutely. But awesome. It'll be the middle of the day, so it's still going to be fun. But it'd still be fun to watch. It would be nice under the lights, though. So anyway, thank you to all of you who took the time to vote on social media, and especially to you who decided to take time to comment. I put that up there for you to vote and comment. That's what it's for, just so you know. So we try to get a little fan feedback for both episodes here and there. We keep it about a half hour right now, so we're good. So thank you to all of you for that. Thank you to my bookie. Thanks to James on guitar. For Joe, I'm Sean. We're out.
Thanks for listening to the Cuse Militia Podcast, the fan's voice with Sean and Joe.